Dude, our slogan should be "Go Off."
Yes.
I just kind of had a moment where I was like, I am feeling it, man. I'm overwhelmed.
So how many hours a week would you say you work with 2 jobs?
Between the two, I would say probably like 65, 70. That's a lot.
Wow.
I'm the type of person right now who I'll give 50% of myself to like 6 different things. And that's not good. I'd rather give 100% of myself to 2 or 3 things and do those really well and be completely present for those things than to spread myself thin just for the sake of quantity.
Are we having fun? Hell yeah.
I'm Steph.
And I'm Kayla, and we're two best friends coping with life the only way we know how. One adventure and a cocktail at a time. Hey guys, okay, so I don't know how good this audio is going to sound because I'm just recording off my computer. I had tech issues today. Stephanie is actually on her way to her second job. So we are making this happen for you all. But the show must go on. And honestly, this is such an interesting time in our lives. So thank you for being with us and supporting us and, sharing us with other people who just need like somebody to talk to on their drives, whatever. We appreciate that because we're all in this shit show together. And
I feel like what a shit show it is.
I feel like we talk about that every week, but we want to be super authentic with you guys. And we started this podcast thinking we're going to document all our trips and we're going to share our drinks. And the reality is we're not always on vacation, right? Like you guys have heard the episodes of like random places where I am and it's not fun. It's for work. It's not that fun. And we're just honestly not really like, I don't know about you, Stephanie, but I'm not really drinking that much either. I don't really have time to go out. If I go out, it's for like an hour. I play darts and I go home.
Like, exactly. Honestly, same. It's more so like, it's not even the time aspect. It's just like going back off previous episodes. Like I'm getting into working out and my priorities are just like other places. Right. So it's like, I don't even want to entertain that because I'm trying to excel at other things.
And it's not like we are trying to stop sharing cocktails with you all. No. No. We are just getting more intentional with these handmade creations that are specifically to our off group. Are we having fun group? So this week's cocktail is going to be a thank you to Fierce Orchid Productions for allowing me to come to Florida, work with you all, and of course get to see Stephanie and push this podcast a little bit more. So super grateful. We made a cocktail for them that's called Orchid Bliss. That's the cocktail of this week. And Orchid Bliss is kind of your bourbon-based like mule, but it's nice and sweet with some maple syrup and candied bacon. Oh my God, is this making me so hungry right now. To top off this sweet drink, garnish it with an orchid. Oh my goodness. What is sweeter than a flower? And it fits perfectly with the production company. So go check out that recipe on our website for the measurements. And the only thing more blissful than this cocktail is their newest short film, which is called Bliss. It's available on YouTube. So guys, go check that out. Go support this local film production company in Orlando that is just killing it. They are really making a name for themselves and creating work that makes you think and feel, and it's just so beautiful to see the Orlando film scene doing things. So I'm going to post that YouTube link in the show notes so you guys can go check out a new film. It's about 7 minutes long, won't take much of your time, and it's this cool dystopian type production with like almost like Bridge to Terabithia fantasy vibes or like sci-fi, but it's not really like CGI like fantasy or sci-fi. It really gets you thinking, and honestly, guys, you have to see it for yourself. So go check that out right in the show notes. And going back to what we were talking about with this podcast journey, It's like we have like a little like weekly gathering with our friends and share a cocktail for a cocktail hour.
Exactly. It's more so like, let's work hard in other aspects and do like other things we need to do. And then the time that we do, have a glass of wine or have a drink, it's more so like rewarding ourselves because we've done like a bunch of work the rest of the day or the rest of the week.
And so while Stephanie's on her drive to work, we're deep diving into what is really going on for us, because we've been sharing our goals with you guys since we started this podcast, which basically was kind of like our New Year's resolution. But whenever someone makes a New Year's resolution, it always changes, right? So like you might set a goal to go to the gym, and then by March you're like, oh shoot, I haven't gone, aka me. But Stephanie's kind of doing it all. But we don't really like talk about what's happening, like how they're being achieved and how it really feels in the moment. So, Stephanie, what has been going on? Obviously, okay, you're making this happen. You're driving to work and you're recording right now. Like,
Yeah, whatever it takes for you guys.
like, what is this like for you right now?
Oh, God, I don't know, man. Kayla and I kind of texted a little bit yesterday or a couple days ago, and we were just like, because normally we catch up on the podcast. So that's kind of like our weekly like catch up session. But we were talking about some things, and then like I just kind of had a moment where I was like, I am feeling it, man. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know. So obviously I've mentioned in the past that I have 2 jobs. Like I have a book club, I'm working out, I have a boyfriend, dogs. Like I have a lot on my plate, and it's fine because I thrive with stuff on my plate. Like if I had nothing to do all day, I would probably go mad. So I would definitely rather be busy than to be bored. But I'm feeling it. I'm definitely feeling it. I'm getting older, I'm 27 now. And like, even though that's not super old, it's just when you're go, go, go all the time without even a second to like breathe, it gets a lot sometimes. And like, I find myself kind of like breaking down a little bit more and, constantly questioning, like, am I doing the right thing? Should I be doing this? Should I be putting more time into this? And it's just, and I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. There's definitely hundreds, thousands of people that feel this way on a daily basis. So that's why I'm not super like depressed or anything like that. Like I know it's just like, it's temporary. Everything I'm doing is temporary, but it's overwhelming sometimes. So I guess my main takeaway is it's okay if you feel like you're spread thin or you feel like you can't, there's not enough hours in the day to accomplish everything, because there's definitely people that feel like that. And my goal for this year that I'm actively working towards is just to, like set aside different times for different things and not have to feel like I have to please everybody or I have to get everything done. Because that's definitely, it's one of my strengths, but it's also a weakness of mine, because I can take on a lot, and I, want to make everybody in my life happy, and I want to accomplish a bunch of stuff, but R&R and like rest is definitely important in order to get that stuff done.
Yeah.
So
I love
that's definitely what I'm working on right now.
So what does R&R look like to you? Like how much time do you get, and what are you doing to relax a little bit more? Or when you get a chance to relax, what does that look like to you?
Yeah, so right now, I mean, I really don't have a whole lot of, like, I never have a day where it's like there's nothing planned. So I don't really have a full like rest day. I'm constantly like doing something, like either at one of my 2 jobs, reading a book for my book club, having to do something with my dogs, take them to the vet, take them to the park, do something. So when I do get some rest time, it's more like a couple hours at most, but I definitely try and like make most of that time. So recently it's been Love is Blind. I think I talked about this in the past couple episodes. I'm on season 2 now, so I'm definitely, on that train right now. And what I've noticed is I need something that's kind of more like mindless, because a lot of people, people that I know that only work one job or, don't really work that much, their rest might be like reading a book or, going to the gym. Like that might be something for them that's like their rest time. For me, that's just like another chore, because I really don't have any other time in the week to rest. It's not like that is like a certain part of it. So I really need something mindless if I'm gonna like actually count it as rest time. So like watching Love is Blind or like some TV show, like that counts as that for me. Or like literally just taking a nap. I've been really into naps recently. I was never like a sleeper during the day. Like it has to be nighttime for me to sleep, but a nap sometimes, you know, the middle of the day really does you good.
I thought you were joking about the naps. I was like, yeah, I love naps. I'm nap queen. I'm always down for a nap.
Well, because with me, like, I'm such a heavy sleeper. Like, I'm the type of person who needs a lot of sleep, even though I don't get a lot of sleep. So for me, a nap cannot just be like 30 minutes. It's either like 10 minutes or it's like 4 hours. Like, there's no in between.
Yeah.
So, but I found because I'm so exhausted all the time, because I barely sleep at night, those naps in the middle of the day, like I can nap now for like an hour or two and I'll feel like rested and like rejuvenated. So I've been making use of that. But honestly, that's something I'm working on. Like that's something I'm actively trying to do because I need to carve out more time to rest. So I just feel like I have like way too much on my plate to even like contemplate like how I'm gonna make that happen with my schedule as it is. Yeah. So my biggest challenge and my biggest like change going forward for the next month is literally going to be like I need to cut back, because I thought about this quote and I texted Kayla this quote actually, and it like kind of just came to me. I'm sure it's been said before, but I'm the type of person right now who I'll give 50% of myself to like 6 different things, and that's not good. You know, I'd rather give 100% of myself to 2 or 3 things and do those really well and be completely present for those things than to spread myself thin just for the sake of quantity. So that's what I'm focusing on. I think that's going to like really help me to feel a little bit more, I don't want to say accomplished, because like I feel accomplished now, but you know, it's like a stressful accomplished versus if I like really just take the time just to enjoy like 1 or 2 things per day versus having to like, you know, go to this person for a couple hours, drive over here, do this work, do this, do that. It's just too much. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
So how many hours a week would you say you work with 2 jobs?
So now that I'm a sales rep, I recently like transferred over a couple months ago. It's definitely ramped up. So between the 2, I would say probably like 65, 70. It's a lot.
Wow. That is a lot.
Yeah. It's a lot. And then, you know, like I said, it's not even just like, it's like the timing of it too, because 60, 70-hour week, like I know a lot of people that work like that, but you know, they'll do like an 8 to 8 or something like that, 4 days a week, or, you know, however they want to do it. For me, it's literally like I work like 9:30 to 10 a.m. until 5 for my one job, 5:30, and then I'll literally like race home, change, let my dogs out, and then I'll go straight in the car as I'm doing right now, and I'm driving to my second job where I have to be there at 6, and then I get home at like 1 a.m. So like on the days that I do that, like my full double days, I literally have maybe 2 hours to myself where I can just like do whatever I want.
And how many days do you do that?
I'm working my second job 4 days a week right now.
Oh my God.
So one of those days is normally on the weekend. So, you know, that's not like a double because I don't, you know, I'm obviously off in the day for my other job. But yeah, 2 to 3 of those days, it's like Monday through Friday, which means I'm working both jobs, which means I hate myself.
Dang. Oh my gosh.
And then like throw in like, you know, I have dogs, like I have to wake up early and feed them and let them out. Like I'm prioritizing working out, as I've said, and I need to carve out an hour for that every day. And then just like, I've never thought something as easy as like making a meal for yourself, like can be that, you know, you have to really carve out a time for that, until I started working both of these jobs. Because like, even to make something healthy, like when a big part of like why I wanted to get back into working out is I was just eating like garbage, because when I was doing these doubles, you know, I go all day without eating. I'll eat something quick in between my 2 jobs. And then when I get off, I'm starving. So what is there available at 1 a.m.?
A bar.
Literally fast food.
Fast food.
A bar or fast food. So I was just eating like crap. I could feel myself, like my energy levels were low. You know, I don't think I gained weight in other people's eyes, but I could definitely tell myself that I was a little chunkier. So yeah, so even prioritizing that, like trying to eat healthy, like, okay, well, that requires, you know, like cooking for yourself and like planning out a meal and stuff like that, which takes time. So it's just a lot. It's a lot, man.
It
So
is. It definitely is. At least we get the consistency of the episodes, but like everything else is kind of like back burner right now because I feel the same way in other aspects. I'm like hustle game and trying to like load up gigs. So I'm not always able to carve the time to the podcast or something like that where I feel it in different aspects. I think everybody has, it's almost like obviously we all have the same amount of time, but like everybody's priorities are different. So like the time it takes to do everything still ends up being you only have a few hours to yourself, or you have way too much time on your hands like you said, and then you're like feeling like shit because you need to be doing more,
yeah.
and it's just not satisfying there either. You know, you get in the habit of like not doing enough and then you're still tired. You're just
Right.
tired.
It's like you're caught between like a rock and a hard place. Like there is no right answer, and everybody's different, obviously, and that's why like I'm definitely a hard worker, obviously, but like I enjoy hard work. It's not that like it's not I'm saying all this because I'm trying to say poor me, you know, like I completely understand that I'm choosing to do this. I don't have to work 2 jobs. I don't have to be in a book club. I don't have to, like, I totally am aware that I'm doing this to myself, but I do it knowing that it's temporary, you know, like I'm not going to be working 2 jobs forever. I really don't have to be working it now. Like I have money. It's just I want to, because I know that to get certain things that I want done in my life, it's going to require, you know, a little bit more capital, a little bit more experience, a little bit more, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I'm totally fine doing it and putting in the work, but you know, if I need to cry a little bit every couple of days to get through it, that's gonna be the case.
Gonna happen. But, yeah, it's like,
you know, even with my partner, like, you know, with Mark, like he's still finding out what he wants to do, you know, so once he kind of solidifies his, you know, his job and his career a little bit more, that in itself will be a lot easier, because then, you know, we'll have 2 incomes, 2 higher incomes, to where I could quit my second job and it won't be as bad.
yeah.
But you know, for me and myself, like it's just, I know it's temporary. It's not going to be like this forever. Honestly, it probably won't even be like this within the next year. Like I have plans already that I'm not going to be doing this time next year. So,
oh yeah.
So I just kind of like, I use that to kind of like push myself, you know, because it's, everything's temporary. Like the good things in life, temporary. The bad things in life, temporary. So you just have to, you know, take it as it comes and just kind of like work hard for what you want, and then just go from there.
And just tweak what you want. I mean, it never really gets easier. It's just that your priorities change. I think that's really the whole point. It's not like we're complaining, whatever. Maybe, you know, a little bit, but like kind of as a joke. But it really is about just like, okay, my priority isn't blah, blah, blah anymore, because it's actually taking a toll on this aspect of my life. So now my priority is blah, 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 you know, switching it up. And like I said, it's like 3 months into the year, people beat themselves up over like, oh, shoot, all those things that I said I was going to do this year, I'm already failing. So what's the point? You know, it's like, that's not how life works. It's just a constant change, and like, not even like, is this working? No. Okay, I'm quitting. It's like, okay, how can we tweak this and make it better?
Exactly.
And like,
yeah, and that's a big thing I've realized too, because I was one of those people where, like, you know, I would work out for, let's say, like 3 weeks, and then I would fall off the train because of life. And then I'd be like, oh, well, now I'm already, you know, I'm so far gone. What's even the point of coming back? But that's something I've had to learn. And thank God I've learned that lesson. Like, just getting back up and like dusting yourself off and getting back into the swing of things, like that says more about you than staying down. Because there's been so many times recently where I'm just like, you know, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I doing it like this? And then I just like hop back on the train, man, and just, you know, not to say you have to pretend like it didn't happen, but it's like, you know, you take it as a lesson and you just realize like, okay, I want to change. I want to do it like this instead. So
There we go. See, we're just dropping some knowledge on you guys. I'm just kidding. No, this is really what we're going through.
Facts.
And obviously we're like having fun in all our episodes, but we really do want to share the real shit, because we're all going through it, and like we're all in it together. And it's, there's so many like podcasts out there, or influencers, or blah blah, whatever you see on social media or you see on TV, and they act like they have everything together, and it's like, it's never the case. Like, even if you have more money, you're gonna still have problems, like nobody is like,
more money, more problems.
Yeah. No one's like, I have no stresses in my life. Like, obviously we don't want to complain, so we'll say like, yeah, no, it's just about being grateful. That doesn't make it any less stressful. It's like sometimes you just have to like get these things off your chest, and we've been feeling some type of way, guys, and you've probably felt it with us, but the fact of the matter is that we keep going, and that's what this podcast is for, is just getting it all off our chest.
I'm very hopeful. Like,
yeah,
honestly, earlier today, like literally before I joined this call, I was having one of my little cry sessions. And when I first turned on the camera, like my eyes were glassed over. I don't know if you could tell, Kayla.
No, I couldn't.
Yeah, but honestly, like I just have so much hope for this year though, because like as much shit as like we have to go through, as much like doubt and all this stuff that we have to deal, like I'm so hopeful that this year, like I can feel good changes are coming, for you and me, but also just like in general, like I can just feel like good stuff happening. So
me too, definitely. And it's not going to be easy. It's definitely not easy for me right now, because I'm having the opposite problem of like, my work went from go, 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 go to like, okay, halt. But in other aspects, I'm like getting things done. They're just not monetary. And I'm like, okay, everything is monetary.
Yeah. And
you gotta look at it like that too.
And money is such a stress. Like, I grew up having that type of stress, like with my family, but also just like, in college and stuff, like that was always the biggest stress, was money. Now it's switched to money. It's not even my stress anymore. It's time. Because like by putting in all this work, like, my savings is great. My money is great. My finances are great. But now it's like, I'm stressed for a whole nother aspect, which is like, I don't feel like I have the rest that I need. I don't feel like I have the time to do what I want. So like you said, it's never like the stress goes away. It just kind of transfers to something else.
Yeah.
So I think like learning how to like cope with that and learning how to like change it up like that is really important.
You know how in college we used to say, you can only, it was like a meme or something, I don't know, but you can only have two things: a social life, sleep, or good grades.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you could only have two. And we would be like, fuck sleep, we're gonna get good grades, we're gonna have fun,
And I'm still like that, dude. Yeah, I'm still like, sleep's on the back burner. I'm gonna have money and a social life.
Parker had this other one, and I'm gonna insert it in the podcast. I'm gonna ask him after this. Okay, it was actually a meme, and it shows three guys, a young guy, a middle-aged guy, and an old guy, and then underneath it says time, money, energy, and they have battery bars next to them. So the young guy has full time and energy but low money. The middle-aged guy has full money and energy but low time. And then the old guy has full time and money but energy is low. I thought that was just so perfect, because we're all going through that. That's relatable to all of us. And honestly, we're here for you to DM us, and we'll keep you anonymous if you want us to share your story, but we do get some DMs of like, oh my God, that blah, blah, blah that was in your episode. I keep saying blah, blah, blah. I think that's just so funny to hear. But on this episode, this concept was so relatable, and then they just share it with us. Like, we love that. We love that, and we want to be here for you guys. And we'll keep you anonymous if you want to share on the show. We want to have fun, and we want to like get through that hard shit together. Is really what it's about. It's having a community of people.
You just need somebody just to like listen, because odds are like we're being so candid about what I'm going through and what we're going through. So like,
Go
if
off.
you feel like that too, like, just like let it out, man. You know, like, even if you just want us to listen to you and not even like say anything back, so to say.
Yeah.
You know,
No
we're here
judgment.
just to do that. I think it's like a really awesome community where you can just say what's on your mind and you don't have to feel like you're judged or like you have to walk on eggshells to say something. Like, just be yourself, say what you're feeling.
Exactly. It's like, you know, Stephanie and I go through a lot, and we obviously have a lot of history together, so we know each other's families. We've been through pretty much everything in our adulthood together. So,
Yeah,
you know,
honestly, a lot.
so it's like when one of us is like having a hard moment, we kind of like sense it in each other, you know. Even if you don't have that in your personal life, you still have that with us. Like, we're always there, like, talking it through.
Yeah, for sure. We're here for you guys, and hopefully you're here for us too. Let us know if this resonates with you so we don't feel so alone too, because it takes a lot to like open up your heart and say it to a bunch of random followers, but
it really does.
Hey, man.
and every week
we just want to be relatable, you know, because this is real. It's not like we're just saying this just to get listens. Like, this is literally our therapy, is like talking to each other and talking to you guys.
We're like not just we're not trying to just be clickbait. Like, if we are being clickbait, it's just because we think we're clever, but it's not like, oh, let's just get listens, you know. And that's the biggest thing too.
Sometimes too, like we're not like just like depressed all the time. Obviously we go on trips, we drink, we have fun, like we're totally for the balance, but you know, we realize like life gets hard sometimes, and that's okay. It's okay that your life isn't like picture perfect like you see on Instagram, you know, because it's not going to be.
And good things take time. So like, don't feel like you have to rush to like meet a certain milestone in your life, because I think I'm realizing that, especially like creating a career for myself, a little different than when your career is set in stone. You can't rush it.
Definitely.
It just
the good things take time.
Yeah.
Well, I am turning into work.
I was to say, this was perfect timing. Continue to support by rating us. You can rate us 5 stars on Spotify now, which is a new thing. So be the first set of people using that feature. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, I know most of you are. Guys, I look at the insights, so I can pretty much pinpoint where exactly our listeners are if I really wanted to. That sounds scary, but like, Anchor really is a fantastic platform to start the podcast. So we see every country like listeners are from, and it's really cool to see where you guys are checking in from. So we thank you guys from being literally all over the world.
And Kayla has been working her butt off to make all of those awesome stickers. So we will have a link to that in our show notes as well, if you guys want to check them out. Not only is that supporting us and our podcast to get more content for you guys, but they're also really fucking cool. So
yeah, I'm designing some new ones for you all, and I'm gonna upgrade the sticker paper too. Like, we're gonna go in
and we'll have new merch coming soon as well. So you'll see some cool stuff.
And it's actually at etsy.com/shop/AWHF. That's Are We Having Fun? AWHF off. So that will be in the show notes, but you can type that into Etsy as well. And we'll catch you all next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.